Upon my first Myrise playthrough this year, I was rocking with the game mode from the jump. I was thinking the Mutiny storyline was fire, the cutscenes, it was chaotic, it was a lot going on. But after you finish it that first time, it just feels like, all right, now what? I've never been a guy to run through the story mode more than one time just to do it. It has to be like I had so much fun or the story was so good that I gotta get back in there and run it back. And the 2K25 storyline just wasn't doing that for me until the other day. I decided, you know what, let's run it back one time. Let's see what's different, how much is different, what can be different. And when I tell you that I was pleasantly surprised, ladies and gentlemen, I think I was wrong about Myrise. Let me explain. My first issue with the mode was that once you finish the Mutiny storyline, it's over. I was assuming, you know, maybe call me crazy, but I was assuming that the Mutiny storyline is like the big story that they set it up with, and then they take you into like smaller stories that aren't as heavily well produced. But once you finish the Mutiny storyline, the Myrise is essentially over. That's the entire story. I was hoping that after that, a second part of the Myrise would open up that would let you challenge for titles and change what division you're working in, or, you know, just things of that nature. And the second thing that I strongly disliked about it off rip was that there was no title opportunities. You don't get to challenge for anything but the made up titles that are from the storyline itself. And then when you get further in the story, if you take a certain path, it gets super meta. We're gonna get there, but basically the game practically looks you in your eyes and tell you, hey, if you want to make your call character a world champion, then you import this player and go do it in universe mode. That's not what this mode is for. Which, if I'm being honest, I don't like that, bro. I don't like that at all. So when I did decide to jump back in Myrise for my second playthrough, I made sure I picked different decisions for everything just to see how much the story would change up. And while I still haven't done every option and all of the different choices and everything, let me tell you, on that second playthrough, I was very pleasantly surprised when I picked a different storyline that I did from the first time, and it ended up with me and R-Truth somehow having to travel back in time to try and stop mutiny from ever happening. And a lot of times when a team does a story like this and they try to be funny and everything, it just comes off as cringe and very not funny at all. But this storyline, like they did it perfectly. R-Truth is like Doc Brown from Back to the Future, and you guys go back in time to the literal pipe bomb. I was sitting here marking out. We literally went back to 2011 to stop the pipe bomb from ever happening, to prevent CM Punk from ever starting mutiny. But of course, like every time travel movie, even R-Truth himself says it, which again, I was dying laughing throughout this whole storyline. Every time Truth popped up on the screen explaining the space-time condominium, as he called it, like, bro, it's hilarious.
If Cena wins, there's no money in the bank match. So no Punk rise, no pipe bomb promo, no mutiny.
So it sounds like we've got to take 2011 R-Truth out before he interferes in that match and helps Punk.
No, you gotta do it. If I see myself, it could break the space-time condominium.
Yeah.
But like Truth said, we went back in time and we stopped the pipe bomb from ever happening. We stopped R-Truth from coming out, interfering, and letting CM Punk sit down on the stage and everything. But when we went back to our time, it messed something up even more, to the point where Randy Orton was now the leader of Mutiny, not CM Punk. CM Punk wasn't in WWE anymore. He wasn't even a wrestler. He was a podcaster or something like that.
Well, Cody, the Time Team did it. CM Punk never got his big shot. He's not even in the WWE anymore.
And now Randy Orton had been running Mutiny for like a decade plus, just taking over everything. He had won everything you could imagine. He broke all the records, and he just had everybody in his corner. He was the big dog, Randy Hogan.
Because of what we did, that never happened. You might not remember this, but we went back in time. That changed the future, which is now the present. And the present is a gift. And a gift can only be returned for store credit. So you've got to leave Randy alone.
And this storyline really works because R-Truth, as we all know, the man he can make anything funny, bro. And those little attention to details, like referencing the pipe bomb and all of the other things from time travel, it just shows you the people who are writing these stories, not only are they wrestling fans who care, but they also care about attention to detail. They're real meticulous with certain things in these stories. Like if you pay attention, They do a lot of referencing, a lot of little Easter eggs that'll go over your head. Like even, and it's a lot of them are very subtle. It's not in your face, on your nose. Like if you didn't play the games or watch the product, you won't even know they're making references. And stuff like that is cool to me. I'm a nerd, what can I say, bro? But upon completing the R-Truth section of this Myrise, I chose another different situation where when you get to choose if you get old like legends to come back and help you defeat Mutiny at Survivor Series, or if you want to do indie characters, or if you want to do the protagonists from the last WWE 2K games. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not done that protagonist from the past 2K games in your Myrise, go back and do that. When I tell you it was a meta, fourth wall breaking, funny. If you can make the Myrise funny and action packed, bro, I'm here. I'm here. Big pop from the boy. So you go down to the mocap studio for WWE 2K and you get to meet all of the past My players. You meet Red and Trey from WWE 2K20.
Hi, sorry. I'm Red and this is Trey.
Which is hilarious. The developers themselves, everybody involved in making this game, they are aware of the monumental failure that WWE 2K20 was, and they make reference to it via these characters.
To be honest, Trey and I are used to the haters. Hang around here and you might see what I mean. For example, not always easy to work on a game these days with the internet chatter. Lots of things can happen beyond your control. But everyone's entitled to their opinion. And Trey and I have come a long way in, let's say, the past 5 years or so since, I don't know, 2020? Everyone messes up sometimes, right? Even sometimes in big ways, like
talking about their careers and their experiences and how they've grown. It's a metaphor. They talk about how they've grown so much from the last 5 years, talking about WWE 2K, how they've grown from WWE 2K20 to now. And then after that, you get to talk to the Lock. You talk to the Dark Horse about his run.
Hey, the Dark Horse and the Captain? When you won the Undisputed Championship after Roman Reigns vacated it.
Huh. It's been a minute since that SummerSlam tournament. Honestly, sometimes even feels like years. Or another life.
Surpassing Roman. You talk to Buzz from 2K19. You talk to all the women protagonists from the storylines as well. And everybody details things to you about their story and / their game. And it just gets really meta and really funny. I'll give you an example.
After you beat Roman, I wondered what happened next. And after you won the title at WrestleMania, Cap, I wanted to see more.
But isn't that kind of up to the WWE Universe to decide?
What do you mean?
I like to think that what we show them is only the beginning, their rise. And maybe where we leave off, there's an opportunity for our fans to take our stories and make them into what they want it to be. Write their own next chapter.
You get what we're saying, right?
Who are you talking to?
He's still in it, Horse. He doesn't see him yet.
It's like they all know that they are from a video game, but they don't realize it until their year is over. They even make reference to it when they break the fourth wall and the current character goes, huh? What are you talking about? And he's like, don't worry, he don't know. He's still in it. He can't, you know. One of my favorite parts about this whole storyline is your character asking them all about their meteoric rises, and then they'll ask them about their last match. And it's like, you kind of just disappeared after that. Like, where have all you guys been? Do you guys all still work at WWE? I never see you backstage. I never see you in matches. Like, what's up?
What's crazy is that last year, I felt so connected to both of you. Like I was walking in your shoes. I should apologize for not keeping up with your stories as much lately. And it's weird I haven't seen you around backstage at WWE. And you haven't even been a part of this whole mutiny thing.
Kind of bringing it all together, you know? This whole multiversal time travel thing. I'm not even gonna mention, well, yeah, actually, yes, I am. This is my idea. I know I may sound like a crazy person. At the risk of sounding crazy, I told 2K to do this years and years and years ago in NBA 2K, and then wouldn't you know it, they pulled it off in NBA 2K21 to the T of how I said they should do it. Bring all the characters in together, whatever. But they did it again in this game, and I can't help but feel like I played a teeny weeny, tiny little itsy bitsy part in that. But this storyline specifically is very charming. It's like a love letter to fans who pay attention, if you will. And when you finish a storyline like this one, it honestly just gets you hyped up for what's next. It's like, oh, what's next? But in this case, Once you finish Survivor Series with all the rest of the 2K former protagonists, it's over. It's done. There's no more stories, like we said in the earlier part of the video. There's nothing else. The Myrise is done. And that was one of their goals for this year. They wanted the game mode to focus on the replayability and that your choices actually made a difference or whatever. And they did a good job on it. I'm not gonna straight out just say the game mode is terrible because it ends after the Mutiny storyline. It would have been, this could have been an all-timer, not even Myrise, career mode, story mode, whatever you want to call it, just all of those together. It could have been an all-timer from all of the WWE games as far back as WWF SmackDown on the PlayStation 1 all the way up until now. It could have been an all-timer if they included more story after the Mutiny. It doesn't have to be hella voice acting. I could be in the minority here, but if it means getting more content, I'll take some text box. You know what I'm saying? Even in 2025, I'll take some text box. If you do it like Here Comes the Pain and SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, where after you finish all the Mutiny storyline, just let it open up a whole free mode of story where, depending on like yours, in SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, it was superstar points. The more superstar points you had, the more titles you could compete for. And they used those superstar points to make matches. It would be, you know, the main eventers would be the people with the most superstar points. And you get those points by winning matches and Here Comes the Pain, winning promo battles backstage or whatever. Now, if something like this opened up after the Mutiny storyline, that would add so much more longevity to the game.
What? 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 What?
But again, at least they gave us stories and paths that actually give you a different story. Even if it's the same story, but just with different people, at least there's something, you know what I'm saying? And once you finish the storyline for a second time, R-Truth is, in-game R-Truth is different. Once you finish the game for a second time, he's in your bus telling you, like, you know, we can time travel again and you can run back to Myrise again. But after you beat it the second time, he's in some kind of like wizard gear. I don't know what he's wearing. So it literally makes me think, if I go back and beat this a third time, what is R-Truth gonna, like, will I unlock something? Is R-Truth gonna give me something? Do I get a cutscene or something? You know what I'm saying? And that right there is the essence of gaming. Even though I said they're missing a little something past the Mutiny storyline, they at least paid attention to detail. So I admit, off my first playthrough, I was a little harsh on the Myrise. I was gonna make a video, but I was like, nah, I'm not making that video. They're gonna call me a hater. They're gonna say I don't like anything. And good thing I didn't make that video, right? Because now look at me. I'm here on that second playthrough. I'm like, hey man, Myrise is all right this year. It's not perfect, but it's a lot more clever than I thought it was. And it's a lot more well thought out and detailed. And so that begs the question of you all. What did y'all think of the Myrise? Did y'all play it more than once? If you played it more than once, what do you think? If you did only play it once, why did you only play it once? And also, have any of y'all played the story where you choose all of the past 2K characters? Am I gassing it? Is it not as cool as I said it was? Just let's converse in the comments. Let's talk about it. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. If you enjoyed this little talk, this conversation, this video, drop that like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. And again, let's talk in the comments. Tell me, what do y'all think about Myrise? How can they improve it? Or is it fine just the way it is? What do y'all think, man? Let me know. But as always, I'm D Brown Shinhan, and I am out of here. Peace.
Myrise?
Yeah, my career, my rise through WWE. What did you think I was talking about? Anyway, if I wanted to call my own shots, I could always just go play around with another mode. There's so many modes out there.
Modes?
Yeah, you know, modes. Forms of expression. They're actually really big on you playing around with different personas in WWE.
You're giving me quite the tutorial.
So I've been in the game long enough to know that if you do the thing that helps us, suiting up for mocap, then we in turn help you. It's called a quest.
You've been in the game?
Yeah, worked here at the mocap studio that makes the game. It feels like we keep having the same misunderstanding.
I really don't know anymore.
WWE might not survive this. And I'm thinking this particular challenge may be a little more difficult than most if we're getting this meta about it. I'd actually have the chance to fail this year.
You never know. Players say they want that as an option every year, and I don't know if they realize what they're asking for. Sorry, we've gone on a tangent. Welcome to MoCap. We're happy to have you. Believe me, you'll fit right in.